Bugs, they fascinate us, they frighten us. Some are as big as dinner plates, others as dangerous as the plague, and I love them. G'day, I'm Ruud Kleinpaster, the bug man, and the opportunity to go looking for bugs as big as bugs can get and as bad as bugs can get was an opportunity too good to miss. Ah, he got me! Ow, 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 ow. I'll do whatever it takes to get down to bugs level so I can understand why some bugs become so big and others turn so bad. On the world's biggest and baddest bugs. I begin with a journey in search of the world's biggest bugs. I'm going to need all my experience as an entomologist if I'm to uncover their secret hiding places, avoid danger, and discover why some bugs can get to be as long as your arm, and the very biggest can be the size of a small cat. First up, the biggest cockroach in the world. This is what we always think of as giant bugs. Yeah! You know those monsters that lurk under the floorboards and in your kitchen cupboards? Ugh. These ain't no giants. These are giants. But don't worry, you're not going to find these anywhere near your kitchen cupboard. This is where they occur. My search for giants brings me to the Australian outback. You gotta be tough to live out here. It's hot. Come over here. See this? There's some dry soil here, sort of like recently excavated. What I'm looking for is the giant burrowing cockroach. Most cockroaches are too easy to find. These giants aren't. They live only in Queensland and only in burrows. See? Oh, come on, don't be a spoiled sport. Yeah, got him. Righto, now there we are. Ow, spiky legs, all right. That is what I call a cockroach. Look at it. It might not even be full grown, and by the looks of it, it's a male, it's a boy. Oh, how long? About 3 inches. See this little lip here? That means it's a male and it can dig. It's like having your head like this and dig out with your thorax, your prothorax. Isn't that gorgeous? These cockroaches don't come to town, thank goodness. They're strictly country cousins, and they burrow. They can burrow through tightly compacted soil like many excavators. Now underneath is the head. It's always protected. And you know what? It feels nice and cool, and it feels nice and moist. And that is a dead giveaway why these cockroaches live underground. Compared to the 90+ degrees heat outside, their burrows are as cool as wine cellars. And like a good wine, giant cockroaches age well. They live for up to 10 years. The roach in your kitchen lives only for 2. Even more remarkable is that mother giant roaches give birth to live young. Now, this is very unusual for cockroaches. Others lay eggs, and she looks after her young for up to 9 months. But why do these junior roaches grow up to be giants? Well, it's a mystery, but scientists think it could have something to do with moisture. The biggest cockroaches are found where more rain falls. When it rains, they all come out of their burrows to meet, to mate, and to move on. This is the only time when they won't dry out in the fierce Australian heat. So the moment it rains, they come out, they gather up all these leaves from around here, eucalyptus leaves and anything they can find, and take them down in the burrow. And these leaves are dead, old, dried leaves. Dry? They taste like dead, old, dried leaves. Not something that I could live on, but these roaches can. This guy has had a heck of a day today. Exciting, mind you, but in the process we've destroyed its burrow totally.
Luckily, I found a burrow here that is deserted. You can always tell a deserted burrow because it's open. It's never closed off. So I'm going to let him go here. Successful relocation. Oh, put a leaf in for good measures, for some food. Where you go?
Giant cockroaches are big, but I've only just begun my search. And the next bug helps answer the question, why aren't bugs as big as buses?
Dragonflies. I love them because they're so ancient. They were flying around 300 million years ago. That's the time when coal was deposited. Can you imagine? Another thing I like about dragonflies is that they used to be much larger than this. Oh yeah, once they were the largest flying insect in the world. Now, of course, this is a much smaller 21st century model. It's the hawker dragonfly, a robust little fella. But I'd like you to meet a long and slender cousin of this one, the helicopter damselfly.
The very first flying insects appeared about 350 million years ago. There were giant dragonflies the size of eagles and damselflies the size of hawks. So what happened? Why did they shrink? My journey to find out begins in Panama. Near water should be the perfect place to find the giant helicopter damselfly. They gather around fallen logs because logs have holes that will fill up with water. And females come to these tiny pools to lay eggs. And where there are females, there are big males. Males are superb flyers. They hover over their ponds like mini helicopters. And if they receive unwelcome visitors, they become attack helicopters.
Got him.
Why did they get so big? Well, very simple. Areas like this and habitats like these tree trunks don't come around very often, and they are worth fighting for. So if you're a big male, you've got a better chance of securing a female with such a piece of real estate.
Believe it or not, these helicopters are the biggest in the world. Body length, around 4 inches. Wingspan, 3.5.
In the past, and we know that from fossil records, damselflies got a lot bigger. About the size like that. And why was that? Well, one simple reason. Oxygen.
We humans have evolved in an atmosphere with only 20% oxygen. We're used to it. That's enough for me to cycle hard for 5 minutes, no problems.
Feel okay? Enough oxygen here, you know?
But damselflies and their close relations, the dragonflies, evolved long ago when there was twice as much oxygen as there is today. Now, with more oxygen, flying insects became giants. Imagine dragonflies with a 2-foot wingspan. Then imagine what happened when the world's oxygen levels halved. Scientists think that decomposing bacteria and fungi began using a lot more of it. With less oxygen in the air, the insect shrunk. Now, if lowering oxygen can shrink a bug, I'd like to know, what could it do to me? I've asked my TV crew to find me a hyperbaric chamber. These help scuba divers recover from the bends by increasing oxygen. Now, for me, they will reduce it by half. When I take off my mask, it'll be like trying to breathe on top of Mount Everest.
Here we go.
Oh, it's tough. As soon as I start pedaling, I want to stop. I have no energy. After a minute, my heart is thumping, and by 2 minutes, I can't get enough air. My muscles are screaming in pain.
2.5 minutes gone. Oh, 57% oxygen in my blood. It's a lot less. So it's really getting tough.
How are you feeling?
Really tired, but and a bit headachy.
I'm worried how less oxygen will affect my brain. You see, our brains only weigh 2% of our body weight, but use nearly 20% of all the oxygen we breathe. Without enough oxygen, we'd suffer memory loss, blindness, and blackout.
Can I go back now? I want to go back. I'm going to go back. Here. I tell you what, out here it feels like I'm in an enormous carbon dioxide or a nitrogen bubble, and I can't get enough air. I do need air. You need air to perform. You need air. You need air to...
Trying to work without enough oxygen is the worst feeling. I want to cry. I want to sleep. I feel terrible. But my problems are really small compared to bugs. Their respiration is inefficient. They carry little oxygen in their blood, and they rely on air coming in through tiny portholes or spiracles along the sides of their bodies. So, a bug size is limited by the amount of oxygen it can absorb. My search for the biggest bug takes me back to Queensland, Australia.
If I were to describe to you an insect that can grow up to 8 inches in length, has perfect 360-degree vision, lightning-fast reflexes both in attack and in defense, what do you think such an insect would look like?
You guessed it, a praying mantis, a predator that can blend into the foliage, stay still as a statue, but then strike fast enough to catch flies and wasps in mid-air. Praying mantises' weapons of choice are their pairs of extraordinary front legs that are like spring-loaded jackknives. They use them to lunge and then hold their victims.
It's amazing. This praying mantis has given 2 of her 6 legs and modified them to such an extent that they're only killing machines.
But as skilled and as lethal as these predators are, they must be very careful not to end up as the prey of much bigger killers. So how do praying mantises avoid ending up on other predators' breakfast tables? Their first line of defense is camouflage. All mantises blend into their environment, but few go as far as the orchid mantis. It even sways like an orchid in the breeze. It can also hide in papaya and frangipani flowers. Even its legs are shaped like petals. Just beautiful. But praying mantises have another trick up their sleeves. When cornered by predators, even much bigger ones, they will stand and fight. So size is not a big deal to a praying mantis, it's attitude. And no matter how big or how small the mantis, inside they all think they are giants. So how can a small mantis beat a big enemy? Well, my TV crew has sent me on a mystery mission to discover their secret. I'm to receive my instructions via text message. Prepare for combat. Tiffany, your host, is the mantis. Oh, I get it. Tiffany is an exponent of mantis kung fu, and I've got to fight her.
Are you sure I'm going to need all this?
Yes. You'll need it.
Your challenge is to pin her arms for just 1 second.
All I know about mantis kung fu is that it was developed hundreds of years ago by a Chinese student who closely watched the moves of the praying mantis. There's something like 12 arm moves copied from the praying mantis. Her technique looks really good, but my arms are longer.
give up. Give up. Shows you, though, when you're small and you got technique, you can battle just about anything. I mean, I'm no slouch, I am. But this was too quick. This was technique. This was small, fast, and furious.
Inside every praying mantis beats the heart of a giant. Next, bugs that are not only big, but tough when the going gets cold. A bug with tusks? Yeah, that's right. They're on the face of a tusked weta. Wetas are related to crickets and grasshoppers, and tusked weta males use their tusks for fighting, just like male elephants or walrus. They fight for territory and for females. Battles like this have been going on for nearly 300 million years. They are truly, truly ancient. Wetas might be ancient, but they're still being discovered in New Zealand as we speak. This creature's the tusked weta. It was only found a few years ago. It's rare. It is very, very rare. So rare that they're breeding it in captivity, so that in a few years' time, this fella might have a few more females to fight over. Now, wouldn't that be a good idea, my friend? Tusked wetas are one of several different wetas in New Zealand. They include giants like this. Giant wetas are super heavyweights of the bug world, and because they weigh more than 3 ounces, they're right up there amongst the world's heaviest bugs. But by far the coolest weta of them all lives to the south of here in the mountains of New Zealand. And when I say cool, I mean cool. The mountain weta survives under the ice all winter long, and when spring comes and the sun thaws the ice, it emerges from its frozen tomb, just like magic. But it is not magic. You see, the weta has special chemicals that prevent harmful ice crystals forming within its cells. Now that was a clever trick. Could I do that? So I can appreciate the alpine conditions wetas cope with. I've come to a human performance centre where Dr. John Marsden will let me experience what it is like to be in the mountains in the middle of winter. And like wetas, I'll have no clothes, except for a pair of shorts for modesty. The freezer has been set to 16 degrees Fahrenheit or -8 Celsius. And the cold hits me like a brick. We are not built for the cold. If our temperatures drop more than just a few degrees for too long, we get hypothermia, which can kill us. But all it would do to the mountain weta would be to slow it down a bit. To the old mountain weta, this must be like the first day of winter, you know, and they're just getting into their game. I'm starting to conk out. They thrive at this sort of temperatures. It's unbelievable. But I have to keep warm. And I can do that by running and jumping, because when my muscles are working, they generate heat. By 15 minutes, running can't keep me warm anymore. This is where the weta and I differ. You see, the weta will continue cooling until it is as cold as ice. Not moving, not eating, as if it was dead. I can't do that. I must stay warm if I'm to survive. I'm literally freezing from the outside in. As I get colder, my body sacrifices my outer layer to keep my center part warm, particularly my heart and brain. But my brain's already cooling. John's meth tests are becoming impossible.
44 plus 18.
60 something too.
59 plus 21.
Oh, 59. 80. 80.
Okay, that took over a minute there to get those getting pretty near the edge here.
If temperature goes much lower, then we'll pull you out of there.
Okay.
Red, do you want to tell us how you're feeling at the moment?
I don't think I've ever been this cold. It really hurts, my ears and my hands and my fingers. It's actually quite awful.
I think it's just about time to pull out now.
Okay, come and get me.
My core temperature is now lowering, and that's critical. It's reached a point where to go any lower would be very dangerous.
Oh, the sun. Warm. Ooh. I had to get out of there. I had to get out. That mountain wetter's got an ability that I cannot match. I suppose that's one up for the bugs, eh?
My search for the world's biggest bug now takes me to the Venezuelan rainforest. In the rain. This is what rainforest is all about. And these are conditions that the next creature really likes.
Have a look at this. We're going large now, man. Look at this, 6.5, maybe 7 inch of the giant millipede. Beautiful creature, very thin skin. This is why it cannot afford to lose much moisture. This is why it likes to be hidden and comes out when it rains. Look at it move, will you? Isn't it just spectacular? So graceful the way all these legs are coordinated. Now, as I said, they are totally harmless to human beings. But there is a similar sort of species that needs a little bit more care when you encounter it. Something down the road, they found something. Where? ¿Dónde? Whoa. Whoa.
Ve algo que tenemos ahí con cuidado.
What's that?
Ve algo que tenemos aquí con cuidado.
Let's have a look. Be careful, be careful.
Míralo.
Oh no, there it is. Giant centipede. Hang on, hang on. Don't. Hang on, here we go. You don't want that to go away. That is a mean predator. That is one of those ones that you don't put your hands in front. You treat them with respect. Once it's disturbed, it raises its hind legs because it's in a defense mode. And boy, it's got fangs. Boy, like this, like knives and forks. You don't want to be there, you don't want to be there. Now, I'll show you what you don't do. You don't touch centipedes, but you can, if you're careful, stroke the back. Oopsie daisy. Huffy puffy, bit of a temper here. Oops. Thank you. Look, see that? And then there's these rear legs. Now, if I would do this with the rear legs, it would grab me, turn around, make a figure of 8, and bite me. There's no doubt about it. Those fangs at the front are the first front legs, which have been, in evolution, if you like, made hollow and with a poison gland from its head made into poisonous fangs. But they are really modified first legs. God, look at it. It's sick of me. It's sick of me. It's sick of me. No, it's sick of me. It's sick of me. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out. Camera, 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 camera.
When a giant centipede gets hold of you, it doesn't let go. And when it goes hunting, everything from bugs to birds to lizards should watch out. It's a great climber. It's built for searching in holes. Nothing is safe. For its size, it's the ultimate predator, and its big advantage is its shape and speed. Long, thin, and very fast. How do you beat a bug like that?
This little demonstration is all about body shape. It's a race between the beetles versus the centipede. Now, I am the big, round, bumbling beetle. And over there is Centipede Man. Go, Beetles! Go!
when you have to get a lot of body through a very small space in a hurry, it pays to be long, flat and thin, built like a centipede. You won, mate. We were so lucky to find this. I mean, they lead such a sheltered and hidden life. I'm going to put it back, though, because it really doesn't want to dry out. Oh, there, man. Here we go. The king of the predators of the jungle. Isn't it gorgeous? Ooh. Lucky us, lucky us. Come on, mate. This is where you'd live. Here we go. So, put it right down here. Come on. Bye-bye. Have a time. Have a good time. I'm getting out of your way. Come on. Down here. Come on. Vamos. Good. Whoa. There you go. Bye-bye.
Making your body long and thin is one way of getting among the world's biggest bugs, but the next bug has done that to the max.
I've been sitting here now for half an hour, not 10 foot from a tree, looking for one of the largest insects in the world. And I can't see it. I'm going to give it a bit longer. This creature's been eluding me now for so long, I've had enough. I'm going to get in there and get it. Whoops! This is the place where you find them, on the leaves. They sit on the outside of the tree and they gobble up leaves, but despite their size, they're surprisingly difficult to find, actually. Here it is, this is it. This is a leaf insect. Some people call them stick insects, and they belong to the same group. Look, now I'll come down and I'll show you. Yeah! Oh, well, there we are with the leaf insect. Now, leaf insects and stick insects are closely related, and they all got one thing in common. They can grow to huge sizes. Now, you wonder why they get so big, eh? The trick, apparently, is that you think about little warblers and little insect-eating birds. They come across something like that and they say, whoa, whoa, back the bus up. That's too much of a mouthful. I can't handle that. So, size is a protection from being eaten. But there's something else. There's this wonderful camouflage, because if they can help it, they don't even want to become discovered. They just look like their environment.
But does camouflage really work? Can a stick insect really fool a predator? I've told my TV crew to see if they can fool me with camouflage. So here's the challenge. I've been told there's food upstairs and I've got 2 minutes to eat as much as I can. Hey, this is the sort of job I like.
Nothing to it. Very easy. Yummy. Great.
And now I get to do that all over again. But this time, the rules have changed. This time, there's still lots of food, but it's all disguised. Camouflage. It doesn't look like food, just like a stick insect doesn't look like food.
Nothing here. It's empty. This is ridiculous. Time's up. I'm hungry. I can't see anything, honestly. This is a list of all the things I've apparently missed in this room. Didn't know? Go and have a look. Oh, hello. Wow. Well, you can eat that. Blowy days. Clever. You can eat that. Look at this. Did you see that? No idea. A very good one. This is not cable. Licorice. I love licorice. There's something else. The list.
Oh, it was great camouflage.
Wow.
How much would you have got? Okay, the rose was icing, The plate was marzipan, so was the cup, and the TV cable was licorice. And the list was written on rice paper.
And that is what it was all about. Stick insects are absolutely wonderful at that. They just look like a twig and think, see if you can find me. See if you want to eat me.
Stick and leaf insects are peaceful vegetarians. That's why they must be perfect at camouflage. They have no other way to protect themselves. This one is just like lichen growing on a tree trunk. How about this leaf insect? It's so perfect it has insect bites taken out of it. And a leaf eating a leaf? How about that? But even their eggs are camouflaged. They look like seeds on the forest floor. And when the young hatch, they're camouflaged to look like ants and instinctively climb straight up into the branches of the nearest tree. Many stick insects have one more amazing trick. Some females don't even mate to produce babies. They do it all on their own. Unfertilized eggs hatch into females that grow up to produce more females. Instant family. Oh, very clever.
The spiny leaf insect might be big, but it certainly isn't the fastest creature on this planet. No. But she knows where she's going. She's going up there to blend in with the foliage and to eat a little bit more and grow a little bit bigger. Now, while she's racing up into the tree, I might go away to see if I can find something even bigger than this. Go left, slightly left. That's it. Up the trunk. Go, yeah. Oh, just don't, never mind. I'll come down. Here we go. Oh, no! Oh, boy, oh. Are you all right? Are you okay, dear Sticky? Oh, I think she's in better shape than I am. Isn't it a beauty? Now, this is the giant Malaysian stick insect. It is, it's one of those creatures that lives way up in the canopy because it pretends to be a stick, not a big fat trunk like that. The Malaysian giant stick insect is the longest insect in the world. Well, not this particular one, but somewhere out there, somewhere is its biggest cousin.
The longest stick insect in the world was a Malaysian forest walking stick. It was found some years ago and was just under 2 foot long. I'm Ruud Kleinpaster, and my search for the biggest bug takes me back to the rainforests of Latin America. Oh, look at that. That is the largest arachnid in the world. The largest bug. It takes the cake. It is the champion. These spiders can grow up to 12 inches across in every way you look. They can be a quarter pound in terms of weight. Can you imagine that? These are the things Hollywood horror movies are made of.
Magnificent. What a monster, what a hunter. No wonder they've made movies about these things. Oh man, they can kill people at 12 paces. That's all rubbish. Look at this docile creature, will you? Sure, it's a hunter. Sure, it's big. But it's slow too. These creatures have no ears. They've got 8 eyes. They can't see very well. But they have thousands of hairs on their legs, on their bodies. And those hairs all help to monitor airflow. That means they can feel people coming closer, they can feel predators coming closer, they can feel prey coming closer as well. If I make a quick move like this, you see immediately how she reacts. She can feel this easily, just with all those hairs on these wonderful legs. Come on, turn it down. Oh, it's all right, girl. I wasn't going to hurt you. See, If I were a predator, I would always go from the back, knowing that the fangs are at the front. And when I come from the back, oops, what it does is it dislodges all these hairs straight into my face.
The hairs are venomous and cause irritation to skin, eyes and nose. But the hairs also tell us that Goliath spiders are in fact giant tarantulas. And like all tarantulas, they are predators. They ambush prey and kill with venom from their fangs. But they must take care when they meet other Goliath spiders. When a male and female come together to mate, the male protects himself from a bite by holding her fangs on special hooks on his legs while they copulate. There are no records of Goliath spiders actually killing humans, but their bite is very, very painful and can cause paralysis. Like most spiders, they don't bite unless threatened. This is as large as spiders, or for that matter any bugs, can get. Any larger and they wouldn't be able to get oxygen right to their bodies.
Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? That's not where you should be going.
Hey, oh. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at this. Come on, off you go. Where's she gone? Right. That's what I call a good spider. Straight back. You see, the only time these fierce predators are really vulnerable is when they molt.
When a spider is about to molt, it stops feeding and hides away. It also loses hair on its abdomen, and its skin has a slightly blue color. Under its old skin, there's a new soft skin already forming, and between the two, the spider injects a fluid. Now, when the pressure of the fluid builds up, the old skin splits along its back, and the spider steps out of its old suit. Goliath spiders keep on molting throughout their lives. As youngsters, they change skin once a month. As adults, they molt once a year. Each skin they shed brings them closer and closer to becoming giants and one of the world's biggest bugs. The next bug might not beat the giant spider for outright size, but it is a true champion for weight and strength. There's something weird and wonderful happening here, and it's all to do with growing. Getting to become a true giant of the bug world means eating your rotten wood, and plenty of it. Rotten logs build champions.
Now have a look at this. Look what I've found. This is merely a baby. It is the immature or larva of the Hercules beetle. If you want to see something really nice, have a look at this creature's father.
The very best fed larvae get to become the biggest beetles. After spending over a year hidden in the ground, munching away as a grub, the adult Hercules beetle finally emerges. As big as a truck.
Papa Hercules. Isn't it a wonderful specimen? Look at it. This is as large as they're going to get, those beetles. It's a contender for the heaviest insect in the world. And they're built, listen, like a nut. Strong and hard. They can lift 80 times their own weight on top. Look, they're really, 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 really tough. Now the horn, yes, well, that horn is not for aggression. Oh no. It's not even for defense against predators. That beautiful horn is for jousting.
jousting is where size of body and horns really counts. When a stranger comes along, it becomes a battle to defend your home patch and defend your food. The upper and lower horns move like a claw to grasp an opponent and throw him out of the ring. Among Hercules beetle males, big is definitely best. And if a male can keep a good feeding ground, it just might become a breeding ground. If he wins, there's a good chance he will also get the girl. To prove that size makes a big beetle unbeatable, my TV crew has set up another challenge. Oh no! Oh, sumo wrestler! He's the big beetle. Oh, and there's the girl. And I guess I'm supposed to push him out of the ring? Yeah, right. One more. I nearly got him.
When two beetles fight, it's all about territory. And the winner gets the territory, and as a bonus, he gets the female as well. Now, how cool is that? So, you go. Claim your prize.
I feel for male Hercules beetles, especially the losers. You know, it's not easy, it's not fun, and it hurts. My journey now continues in search of the world's baddest bugs. I'm Ruud Kleinpost, and I'm going to need all my experience as an entomologist if I am to avoid danger and discover why some bugs can seriously hurt us and how others can cause the deaths of millions of people. But first up, the stinkiest bugs in the world.
This is not a good idea.
This cute bug is called the man-faced bug, and I'm sure you can see why. Well, if I turned it around, you would see. That's better. Ooh, great hair. But wait, is that Ronald Reagan? But what's the man-face doing amongst the baddest bugs in the world? Well, it belongs to the stink bug family. And where do they hang out? To find the worst smelling bug in the world, all you really need to do is go to a generic vegetable garden anywhere on this planet. Now, I found some of these choraids right here on this sunflower. Now I'm going to pick one up to show you exactly what it is. Oopsie, here's one. I got one. It's a beautiful, beautiful creature actually, because it's got these lovely legs